It all comes down to this. After 6 races with 5 different winners across 2 continents and 9 weeks, we return to one of the great triathlon venues. It's our toughest course, it's our biggest crowd, and there is more on the line here than ever before. The title races for the men's and the women's are wide open. Who can avoid disaster and find out what it takes to win in Toulouse? Let's have a look at the men's standings first of all. And by virtue of a 15 and 14, so first and second place in Jersey, Chongor Lehman and Vasco Valasa have their destiny in their own hands. A win here will hand them the title. Alberto Gonzalez Garcia not here, and Tyler Mislachuk, also Ollie Conway, are all out. So there'll be big changes in terms of the podium and the top 5. Johnny Brownlee hoping for a good result as well. The short shoots were won in the opening swim, bike and run, and the swim was won in fantastic style from Marcus Day, who's been a quality swimmer throughout the series. This time he was well ahead, had a good transition, picked up Brownlee a short shoot. He was part of a group of 4 at the end of the bike for the second short shoot, but the best transition went to Chongor Lehman. So Stars and Stripes picked up the second short shoot and the third as well, because Lehman had a fantastic run as he would continue to do in the second triathlon. He picked up the second one, so 1 each to Stars and Stripes and Brownlee Racing. And they are into the water after 2 stages of fast and frantic racing for the final time here in Toulouse. With 1 swim, bike and run to go, it is Stars and Stripes 1 and 2. They've been together all day. Chongor Lehman with the short shoot in hand and Seth Ryder alongside him. 6 seconds then back to Reed, Valasa, Vanison and Batista, and it is all set up for a championship showdown between Valasa and Lehman. Both of them with a win will win overall. And there are other athletes in with a shot too. Taylor Reed with a slim mathematical chance. Ricardo Batista as well. But really it's all about those 2.
And you know what? The person who I thought was going to be a real threat for the podium is overall in the overall series is John Reed, who is way back down the field now. He's not going to feature, I don't really think, today. So that gives Taylor Reed an opportunity to move up still. Alberto Gonzalez is currently sitting in second, obviously not racing because of injury. 6th place is Mislachuk. He's not here racing. So this is giving Taylor Reed a real opportunity now, although he has dropped off these 2, which is a bit disappointing. Just left wanting slightly on that last run.
Well, Ryder's not going to figure in the overall. He hasn't done the racing. Valasa's going to come out of the water 3rd. He needs to have the bike of his life if he is going to win this championship. It all comes down to this for Vasco Valasa, who hasn't been able to see Chongor Lehman at all as he watches him get onto his bike, and now it is all about him. He's not going to have anyone to work with. He's had a better transition than everyone else, and he's going to come around here hoping that Vanison will help him, and Vanison just keeps getting better and better in this one. Now 11 seconds back. Another great swim from Reese Vanison. I don't know if you saw that, but Seth Ryder made the turn at the top, had a look back, saw Reese Vanison, his teammate, and just put the old arm out like slow him down, to try and block up the rest of the group.
Well, great tactics, right? Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's team racing here. There are 4 teams, and you know there are only 3 places on the podium. And Stars and Stripes, we know, would love to jump ahead of Brownlee Racing.
Lehman now with one hand on the championship. 13 seconds, so it's ballooned back out again after that swim. And instead of it being Valasa erasing the gaps with his bike handling skills, it's actually been the other way around. These 2 working incredibly well together, even having a little bit of a chat there, taking turns on the front and pushing that gap out. Batista can't work together with these other 2 athletes in between, cannot drag Valasa up. And I'm sure that'll be frustrating Michael Gilliam, and when he's frustrated, we like to talk to him. So we've sent Adam over to talk to him right now.
Michael, some incredible racing here. You've got Batista with Vasco. Can they reduce this gap and work together?
It's going to be tough now. Those 2 are on form at the front. I'm really happy for Parker, actually, because he's worked so hard to try and let this day happen, and it's happening for him. We're really got to try and consolidate that 3rd, so the 2 of them will work together. Let's see if it works that way. I'm not too sure about it.
Tell you what, everyone's been super solid. We haven't had a single incident on the bike. I hate to say that. I don't want to put the commentator's curse on them.
That is the commentator's curse. Let's not say that.
This sound here, that's me touching wood.
But I think the athletes, they get to know the course, and the rain is coming down.
Oh no, it's going to be slippery out there now, and the women are coming up in about 15, 20 minutes as well, and they will not like to see that. It's starting to sprinkle, and there you can see it coming down, tipping down now. And these two, they've just got to stay upright, and they could probably take 1 and 2 in this race. And you've got to think that Parker Spencer will be looking at the skies saying, why? Why is this happening to me now? Lehman's dropped 2 seconds there.
Yeah.
Oh, and the man goes down, and this time it's Vanderson. Nobody wants to see that. He's had such a great race. Vanderson is down. Oh, you hate to see it. The youngster from the US has slipped on those tiles. The same place we've seen so many people fall before.
Taylor Reid was behind him as well, so another crash for Taylor Reid after a couple of weeks ago in Jersey.
Oh, yeah, I just hate to see it. Here's the replay. Vanderson, Reid behind. Vanderson loses it. Reid gets stuck, stays on the bike. That is horrible to see. These two out front, incident-free. Last lap, half a lap to go, and a lot of it's a nice long straight. There's only a couple of corners left.
And they'll have no idea of the chaos that is happening behind them. It looks like Vasco Velarza, sitting in third place, has gone it alone, but he had Batista, his teammate, not too far behind him, but we know that that crash has slowed up Reece Vanderson and Taylor Reid.
Vasco Velarza, correct me if I'm wrong, was this a Stars and Stripes athlete last year?
Yes.
He was, and
yes,
Tim
he was.
Hellwig finished second last year.
Yep.
So it was Stars and Stripes 1-2 last year, and now Parker Spencer could have a Stars and Stripes 1-2 this year with only 1.2 kilometres to go. Looks like Blue Skies joining us again, which is good for the women. Ryder out first, then Lehman, and can Seth Ryder win this one? Can he win a race? He's never been on the podium. Lehman's probably the better runner, and now it's a crown 1-2 in terms of third and fourth in that pack, with Batista missing that one. Marcus Day's been eliminated at the back after leading early on. Velas is all by himself, for some reason running with his goggles on still, doesn't need those again. It's not that wet.
He's not going to lose a second, even if it means taking off his goggles, is he? He knows what he's got to do, but I think it's going to be very difficult now. The gap is big, and it's the hill he's got to climb first, so that's going to take even longer. But you know what? Chonga Lehman is not going to let Seth Ryder have this win. He's really not. Seth Ryder slightly struggling now on the run. Not struggling, but he's just dropped off ever so slightly. And Reid is 40 seconds down.
Just the worst. I felt like swearing. I'm sad for him. Didn't do anything wrong there, and Reece Vanderson as well. Taylor Reid drops to 6th position. It's handed Ricardo Batista and Vasco Velarza a 3rd and 4th at the moment.
So Batista is sitting very nicely, isn't he, to take an overall 3rd position in the series.
Yeah, now he is actually, because Batista and Reid were both on 22 points. So now Batista looks like he could take 3rd overall. He's on 22, so he'll pick up 14 points, if he stays in 4th position. Velarza will be 2nd, Lehman will be 1st, and Reid will be 4th overall at the moment, if that continues as it stands. Short shoot has been taken, and it'll be also taken by Pennekamp. That's the gap that the short shoot has created, and Seth Ryder, he looks like he's going to have to settle for 2nd. He's got Daylight behind him. Velarza's not going to be able to run that down, you would think. Although he finished very strong, you can see how gingerly they're taking it down there as well. It's steeper than it looks on television.
It's always those white bits of paint on the road that you've got to keep your eye out for, because that's where it gets really, really slippy. But look at the Hungarian athlete racing for Stars and Stripes Racing, absolutely flying. Took a victory in Jersey. It was a bit unexpected, I think, the 2nd place in Toronto in the first race of the series, but he's wrapping this series up now in style.
He certainly is, and Seth Ryder looks behind, has a little grin to himself, and he thinks, oh, I'm about to find myself on the podium. Even has a chat with someone alongside him as they head along the bottom, which means we're only one finishing straight away from a win here for Stars and Stripes, a 1-2 lockout and a championship for Chongor Lehman, who has just been in supreme form in all formats over 2025. Seth Ryder will have his best ever, and Vasco Velarza, well, he's in the position now that Hayden Wild was in last year, unable to catch up to the two Stars and Stripes athletes. The difference, though, for Velasa is that he's got both shoes on, unlike Wild last year, but it is Chongor Lehmann. He is going to be not only your race winner, not only going back-to-back on the wins, but he is your championship winner as well. The Hungarian wins again. Jersey, Toulouse, and a title, and Stars and Stripes, they go 1-2 again here in Toulouse. Velasa just could not catch up. He'll finish second overall. Big hugs from Parker Spencer to Lehmann. He could not be happier with that. Only one incident, and that handed Batista a fourth place and third overall in the championship at the expense of Taylor Reid and John Reid, who had a difficult race. No one behind them for quite a long time. I think it's going to be the debutant Ian Pennekamp, the Dutchman, who finishes with a fifth on debut, takes the short shoot, gets himself home as the lead athlete from Brownlee Racing, and he looks like he's enjoyed his first day out on the big stage.
I'm almost speechless. It was just crazy. From the beginning till the end, we were like working perfectly with Seth. It was just a dream team. We were working very well on the swim, on the bike, and on the run as well. It was just perfect. I'm just to the moon and back. I can't really say anything. This is like a dream coming true. Like now it's reality. I could win the series. I'm just so happy, and I can't really say anything right now.
What a race and what a finish it was. Chongor Lehmann taking 49 out of a possible 50 points with 2 wins and a second place for his 3 results. Velasa in the end 6 points back, and Batista made it 2 Crown athletes in the top 3, jumping up from 6th to 3rd with his 14 points. Taylor Reid and John Reid from Podium Racing finished 4th and 5th, and Gonzalez Garcia, he missed out because he wasn't in this one, and there's plenty more racing to go with the women up next. Well, the men's are done, but the team's race and the women's race is still very much up for grabs. Let's have a look at how the championship standings stack up for the women. As the sun shines down here in Toulouse, it's been some interesting weather thus far. And the 2 podium racing athletes, Jean Lahair and Leonie Perriot, both locals. In fact, Jean Lahair, born and raised here in Toulouse, is off the back of 2 wins, and another one will hand her the title. The same for Perriot. Georgia Taylor-Brown is looking for title number 4. She'll need things to go her way, as will Jolien Vermeulen, and Fanny Zalai, she wants another podium. Brownlee Racing had won the swim short shoot in the men's. They were looking to do the same in the women's, and they were 1 and 2 out of the water. Fanny Zalai's swim is just getting better and better. A great one from Ava Goodison. A good transition for Zalai. She picked up the short shoot just ahead of Jean Lahair. And then after the opening bike, it was 2 Crown athletes and Jess Fulliger at the front. She had a great transition, and she had a great first 2 triathlons in general. She picked up the second one, locking out anyone else from getting that opportunity, and the superior run of Jean Lahair earned podium 1 as well. We head into the final swim, bike and run here in Toulouse with a championship on the line and all the championship contenders in the top 6.
Do you know what's really impressive is Jean Lahair's swim? You know, in years gone by, it really was her Achilles heel. And here she is in this final 3rd swim, where normally it's the toughest swim. And there she is leading this swim at the moment.
Yes, another reminder as we head into the final bike and run. Leonie Perriot can win with a win. Someone nearly has a head-on collision there. That's Miriam Casillas, who's gotten pushed downstream. Nearly runs head-on into Leonie Perriot. That was something we haven't seen before. Anyway, we continue. You can see how far away from the boys she is at the top of your screen. Anyway, take a breath. Leonie Perriot can win everything with a win. Jean Lahair can win everything with a win. Georgia Taylor-Brown needs to win, then have Perriot beat Lahair. That is the key. If Lahair comes in second, she will still beat Georgia Taylor-Brown, who comes in first. Now, the same thing happens for Vermeulen. If Vermeulen wins, she needs Perriot or Taylor-Brown to come in between them and Lahair, because Lahair has the most amount of points. So, that's how it stands at this point. Fulliger's having... Is that Fulliger there in second position?
Yeah, Fulliger is in second.
Yes.
And Vermeulen has done a brilliant job of helping herself and Fanny Salai get back into this race, because they are on the back of the pack now.
They were, Vermeulen and Salai were 13 and 14 seconds back, respectively, heading into the water. And now, once again, it almost looks like an exact carbon copy of the second swim. They're all together. Throw a blanket over them. Everyone out of the water. 4 laps and 1 lap to go. Perriot first, then Fulliger. And Perriot's had a shoulder on Lahair. She's gone back for a cap, and Vermeulen as well. So the 2 podium athletes have clashed with each other. Perriot's dropped from 1st to 4th. I think everyone is okay.
Vermeulen dropped her hat.
Bizarre stuff is happening, one after another.
Oh my goodness me, it all happens here in Supertri, particularly in Toulouse. We nearly had a head-on collision in the water. Leonie dropped her cap, crashed into her teammate. Vermeulen also dropped her hat, and they know that if they leave it, I mean, Vermeulen is just a smart athlete. She goes, I'm not going to pick up a time penalty. I'm going to go back and get my hat, but that is going to cost her, I think, here.
Oh, man. Just when you think things have finished being crazy, we go again for another one. 7 seconds across the first 6, and then a minute back to Ava Goodison, who is in 7th position. Fulliger at the front, then Lahair, then Perriot, and now it's Taylor Brown dangling off the back. And these two have really been struggling to stay in touch. They have been staying in touch, but only just. Fulliger just continues to be so strong in this one. She's got to start thinking about the fact that she could end up spoiling the party for one of these championship contenders who are stuck right behind her, and Taylor Brown is right there, just waiting in the shadows. And this is the only spot someone's come down today, right there going up the hill. We've seen it every year. It's nice and dry now this time, and they get through again.
Wow, these last few, we've got 3 laps to go, are going to be absolutely crucial. And we're just finding out that Miriam Casillas has also been eliminated.
Fulliger, Lahair, Perriot, Taylor Brown will head down now to John Anthony, who is got some decisions to make.
John, the tension here, this is what this racing is all about, but do you feel like you might have decided the title destiny between your 2 teammates by the short shoot that you've given out to Jean Lahair?
I came into the race knowing that if Jean Lahair or Leonie earned the short shoot, then I would, unless there were some extenuating circumstances, I was going to give the short shoot to the one who earned it, right? I think that is the most fair decision that we can make going into the grand final.
Thanks, John.
I wonder if someone else had earned it, like Mihalichkova in the swim, who he would have given it to then. But at the moment, he's been able to go to the fallback position of Jean Lahair earns it, so she gets it. Maybe Perriot has got a faster run than Lahair, but if she does, it's only by split seconds. Is it by 2 or 3 seconds? We don't know. And that question is going to be answered very, very soon. And Taylor Brown is where she has been the entire time, which is sitting off the back of this lot and hoping that she gets an opportunity. But she needs to win this race. And does she have the run is the big question. Who knows? There's so much to play out in the next 10 minutes.
At the moment, GTB on the front. I mean, the only way I think she can win this race, that she can outrun the 2 podium athletes really, is to find something really extra on the last lap, and that's going to be difficult. It's 1 kilometre, that's all, and she's mixing it up with the best cyclists in the world, so it's going to be hard for GTB to pull away, but you never know with the experience and talent she has. What has she got left in her legs? We will have to see.
It's a difficult one, isn't it, tactically for her? She has to do more work. If she's going to try and stretch out the bike and put them under pressure, she has to do all the work at the front. Therefore, the others can sit in and they'll have a better run. But she probably knows that she can't outrun the 2 of them at this exact point because they're the 2 form runners in short course triathlon at the moment. So she doesn't really have a choice but to just put all her eggs in the go as hard as you can on the bike, try to force them. But you know, I mean, anyone who's cycled in a pack knows how much harder it is at the front than it is sitting in 3rd or 4th wheel. And those 2 podium athletes at the moment are getting a bit of a free ride. 100 metres away from transition and 1.2 kilometres away from making history here in the 2025 edition of Supertri. There is only 1.2 Ks to go between now and the end of the season, and one of these women at the front is going to be your champion. They all get off before the mountain line, just Fulliger gets in first. She goes front wheel in this time, as you would. Doesn't need the bike again after this one. Taylor Brown, for some reason, goes rear wheel in, which he didn't need to do. Shoes on, and they're out. Fulliger has another great transition. Lahair is the queen of transitions, and despite all of that, Taylor Brown comes out last.
It's interesting now because Leonie Perriot has dropped off the pace and Georgia Taylor Brown has moved up into third.
Yeah, Perriot usually has the turn of foot that's required, but this time she's dropped back into fourth position, and it's Lahair who's put the hammer down first. She'll be so happy to have gotten through that bike without incident, Jean Lahair, after everything that's happened to her on the bike in recent years here. Fulliger is continuing to be a thorn in the side of the championship contenders. Taylor Brown is getting passed back again now by Perriot, and she can see the pain in Georgia Taylor Brown's face. She's dug very, very deep to try and do the job in the last lap of the bike, and it's starting to show now. Now, don't forget that Lahair has the short shoot. Fulliger will be devastated not to have been given it. It's gone to Vermeulen instead. She looks behind, she's going to take it, and that's probably going to buoy her to victory. John Lahair, she doesn't take it. She doesn't take it. She's made a mistake on the short shoot. She's given up 4 or 5 seconds. You could see the indecision there.
She wasn't going to take the risk. I mean, how she didn't know she didn't have it, but it obviously hasn't been made clear. And she said, if I take it and it's not mine, then I'm out of the race anyway, and I'm not taking any risks.
Well, we've seen that happen before. It doesn't matter, though, because look at Jean Lahair go downhill. And what a popular win this would be. Perriot's putting in the big ones now. She knows the championship's on the line. She's gone past Fulliger. Vermeulen has gapped Zalai, who cannot keep up with this pace. It'll take a creditable 6th. But Lahair, as she has done before, has gapped Perriot. Fulliger's had another incredible run. Taylor Brown's finding the pace too hot.
Well, she is, and look at Jan Lahair descend. She's not putting her foot wrong. It's hard to descend hard. Their legs will be broken at this stage. Every time they hit the floor downhill, their knees and their quads will be screaming at them, but she's not looking back. She knows exactly what she's got to do now to take this victory here and to take the overall title.
Perriot is absolutely sprinting to try and get away from Fulliger, but more than that, to try and catch up to Jean Lahair. Taylor Brown looks behind. Let's say that probably keeps her out of it now. And Jean Lahair has air behind her now. Gap, plenty of gap, maybe 4 or 5 seconds. Would have been more if she'd taken the short shoot. And after all of the horrible things that have happened to Jean Lahair here in Toulouse, and all of the nerves and all of the stress of coming home to try and win the championship, she had it stolen from her 2 years ago by Georgia Taylor Brown. She's been teammates with a woman who could steal it from her now. She looks behind again, and now she can start to believe in front of her home crowd. Jean Lahair, having had a puncture, having had a disqualification, can slow down and savor the moment. Jean Lahair finally is going to be your Supertri champion at home. Perriot comes in second, a podium 1-2. Fulliger takes a well-earned podium. And Taylor Brown just didn't have the kick at the end and finishes 4th from Vermeulen. All of your contenders in the top 5. That's what this racing is all about.
I'm almost more relieved than happy. I mean, I'm super happy, but like, I think when I crossed the line, I was like, oh, amen, finally. So no, I'm really happy, and then winning the general as well, because it's been 2 years I'm second. So yeah, it's finally a happy ending, so I'm really glad.
So after all of that incredible racing, here is confirmation of the official standings. Jean Lahair, absolutely perfect. 3 wins in a row, 50 of a possible 50, 4 points in the end, ahead of Leonie Perriot, with Georgia Taylor Brown hanging on by 2 points, hanging on to 3rd in the race and also in the championship. Jolien Vermeulen, well, she'll be a little bit disappointed. And Fanny Zalai, incredible to hang on for 5th overall from Miriam Casillas. And that brings us to the podiums for the men's and the women's overall champion. Jean Lahair on top alongside Chongor Lehman, the long and the short of it there. Leonie Perriot and Vasco Valasa finishing in runner-up positions. And Georgia Taylor Brown and Ricardo Batista, the 2 crown athletes, managing to scrape their way onto the podiums overall. Batista extremely happy and Taylor Brown extremely relieved. And speaking of extremely happy, how about this little surprise as well for Jean Lahair? She won the teams, she won the individual, and now she is engaged with a proposal from her partner Nathan and now her fiancé. Which brings us to the confirmation of the team's overall points. Podium Racing, they were in a bit of trouble halfway through today, but they finished with a wet sail, 90 points in the end, as did Brownlee Racing, 54 points then ahead of Crown Racing. They were, with Brownlee Racing back on the team's podium after falling to Stars and Stripes halfway through the day.
There was so much tension coming into this race, right? For Jean, Leone, we had John Reed, Taylor Reed, everybody was eyeing up their own spots. And most importantly, we were going for the team win on this, right? So much has happened this year, and this team has been able to deliver, and it's been an amazing, amazing process. I'm so proud of what they brought today.
Which brings us to the end of our program and the team podium shots. Brownlee Racing up there, Crown Racing as well, and on top, as they have been ever since the second round of the Supertri League Series in 2025. Podium Racing, a worthy finish to Supertri 2025.